Hi, this is Michaeldisalvo from Young and Knowledgeable, and today we're going to be talking about 5 reasons the rich use debt for business. Okay, so it's one of these things that in normal circumstances for the individual, we've always been taught, debt is bad, but there are instances where debt is good. We just got to differentiate between the bad debt and the good debt. This is more focused on small business debt, but it sort of goes hand in hand with the personal side of things. So when somebody tells you, always that debt is bad, they're trying to help you out, but in some cases, debt is good if it's the right type of debt. So number one, debt is cheap right now. So as you know, the interest rates are very, very low. So the cost of borrowing is extremely small. So in this case, it can be advantageous to you and your business to bring on more debt to accomplish things. If you have to bring on an employee to get you to that next level, if you're trying to buy a property or you're trying to buy equipment, that will accelerate your business. This is something that you want to look at. You don't want to have where you're in trouble making paying the bills. But in this case, if you're smart about it and getting the right amount of debt to just sort of, move your business forward, it's a great time to put yourself in that situation because debt is so cheap. Number two, debt gives you more leverage. So on the real estate side of things, basically like we own a bunch of properties, and having that good debt with the properties, it gives us leverage when we go to the banks and we need to borrow money to buy other properties. That's what we've been doing. And our 2 properties in Cornwall, we just got a mortgage. We took out one, and it gave us a good inflow of cash to basically do other things. We can invest in another business. We can invest into real estate. So having this good debt, it gives you leverage in the eyes of the lenders and the banks. Number 3, there's an abundance of lenders out there. There's tons of people willing to give out money. I've spoke about this in previous videos. There is a lot of money out there. There's an abundance of money. The rich, they feel like there's a lot of money out there and they're entitled to it. People in the lower middle class, you don't think there's enough money out there, but there is. So there is an abundance of lenders out there. There's always people to lend you money. And debt being so cheap, it can be advantageous, like I said, to move your business forward. Number 4, they get to keep their own money. So the rich, basically, they're using other people's money. OPM, you'll hear that quite a bit from a lot of the gurus. Other people's money to buy rental properties, to buy businesses. You'll see a lot of things where, you can actually buy a business for nothing, basically just taking it over, coming up with an arrangement with the previous owner to pay him out, over a couple of years. So there's definitely, the possibility of keeping your own money, making your money work for you, but borrowing on this end to push your interest forward. Okay, so getting to keep their own money, the rich are very good at that. And it goes with taxes as well. Even with the rental property stuff, you're allowed to write off the interest portion of your mortgage. So, when I hear people sometimes like, oh, I'm going to pay off the debt, my mortgage, with everything being so cheap, you might want to speak with your financial advisor and see, whether that money, instead of paying off the mortgage completely, and it's not wrong. I'm not saying it's just sort of a different strategy if you can make more money elsewhere. And number 5, debt being less risky. I would say not on the personal side of things, not to get an incredible debt where, you're running into trouble and the interest is piling up on you and it's like a treadmill. But if you've been in the scenario like with the rich, borrowing this money, it's paid out, so a good example of this is buying insurance. So like if you didn't have great insurance and something happened, you wouldn't get paid out properly. Is where good debt, you get the great insurance premiums. If something does happen, you're completely covered because, you're paying not with your own money. So you're making sure that you're getting the right equipment. You don't go cheap on stuff. And, this makes it less risky in business because you've got the right people in place, you've got the right equipment in place, and that's just kind of an example of debt being less risky. So again, this is more for, people going into small business with the debt being so cheap. I would say, this is a good opportunity to advance your interest. On the personal side of things, if you're buying good debt, houses, investments, RSP, if you're taking an RSP loan, I would say that is all good debt because it's going to secure your wealth in the future. So I would say that would great. Borrow at a lower interest rate, investing in something that's going to return higher interest rates, obviously great. So don't get caught in the spin cycle with the interest on the personal level. Just make sure that it's a good investment. Distinguishing what's good debt and bad debt is very important. So I hope this sort of helped, sort of get rid of the stigma of debt. Sometimes it does work for a small business and for you personally. And if you have any questions on that, please comment and like below and reach out to me. I'm definitely here to help you out through this process. Okay, thanks for watching. Michaeldisalvo again from Young and Knowledgeable. Have a great week.